Hey guys, back at it. This is day 220 in my 1 year daily diary challenge. This challenge was prompted after I completed a 100-day challenge, and those first 100 days were amazing. If you want to listen in, pop back and listen to those first 100 days. But they were prompted by a meditation session, and while I resisted, I did come around and accept the idea, and it's been such an amazing journey. I've been loving it so much. So this is why we are continuing into the full year. Just wanted to continue the growth and expansion that I was seeing in those first 100 days. So let's get into day 220. So today is Friday. It is beautiful. We are still in Florida. It is our last full day here. And it is just, I got up. I did my morning 5 minutes of meditation and affirmations. I got up and did my workout, water, kettlebell, stretching, kettlebell. And sometimes I've been adding more stretching, water again, and then doing the acupressure, but on my feet. So standing on the acupressure pillow, just bringing more blood flow to my feet and some healing powers and properties that brings with it. I have been, looking around the house as I've been here staying and seeing different things that if I were to be here and live here and own it, that I would fix. And let me not get ahead of myself. So I did all of my workout routine and I got myself my breakfast and I decided to go outside and do my meditation. And as I was outside doing my meditation in the morning, these ideas just kept flooding in and flooding in and flooding in and flooding in. I was like really overwhelmed with the amount of thought that was going through my mind. But it was all about the house hunting. House hunting, what I'm really looking for is exactly what the family house is. It's 3 bedrooms. It's in the school zone. It's super close to the schools. My daughter could ride her bike or scooter or moped, like whatever, if she has something like that. Super close to my son's schools, either one, if he goes to the Montessori or if he goes to the public. Very close to already familiarity for them and for shops and for friends and for, different things like that. So it was like these ideas were coming in that this house has all of that. Like I said, the family structure and memories from the past. It's an older house and it needs a lot of work, but I've been thinking like, I know what I want in a house and I can make that house exactly what I want. I love my grandmother and I would love to, live with her and have her retire with me and continue to do our herbal business and all of that. So it was just like all of these ideas about the house and about the situation and about like moving and about, how it would actually be in these different spaces and houses and places, just kept coming in. And then, I'm not going to share all the details, but I got exactly a plan. So like once all of those ideas and things were flooding in, came to just like a slow trickle, like this idea popped into my head. And I've had these ideas pop into my head before. And that's, when I got prompted to do this, a devotional, do these daily diary sessions and record them. I got this clear idea. And so I followed through. And then when I have had it before multiple times, but the retreat in the mountains that I'm doing for Valentine's weekend, very clear. And I had like the whole plan and everything come to me. So I'm trying to follow my intuition and these ideas, these clear, concise, big ideas that come through. So big idea came through and it was like exactly the plan. Okay. So this is, this is the deal. This is, what you're going to offer. And this is what it's going to provide. and it was like very concise about all the numbers, all the, the details. And I was like, wow. So then I accepted it, I acknowledged it, and I released it. And I was like, okay, I can't obsess about this because I haven't talked to the people necessary to make this happen. I need to acknowledge and I release it. So whatever happens, happens. If it's meant to happen, it will, but I am no longer going to hold it and obsess about it and worry about it and do things that are harmful actually to my body. And so I just moved through the rest of the morning, got my water, did my shower, got dressed, had some sun time, 2 hours of sun time, hanging out, got my breakfast, the 30 grams of protein. My mom went to work really early, so she was already gone by this time. Kids are kind of like laggy in getting up. And once they got up, I was, just like hanging out with them for a little bit. And one of my newer friends from Florida who I hung out with and played pool, asked, hey, do you want to meet up? I'm done with work early. I would really love to see you before you leave. Awesome. I love that. Very knows what they want, is able to make something happen, very emotionally intelligent, very thoughtful. And, so it was really nice. So made sure the kids were okay, had lunch and whatnot, and just popped out to go see my friend really quick before leaving. And so we ended up having a really nice time together. Very, 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 very relaxing. And definitely something that we both needed and we both enjoyed, and talked about a lot of really cool things. And it's kind of cool that I was like completely honest and open and 100% myself the whole time that I've known this person. Like, about my transition from North Carolina to Florida, about, my values, my beliefs. So it's been really refreshing not to know that there's nothing like that I haven't said, or that I, have to go back and change or something. So I had that little hangout session and then came back, and my mom and her husband were not back yet from work. So I just hung out with the kids the rest of the afternoon until they did get back. And then I had started to put stuff together. So packing, and I also got the vacuum out and I was cleaning the spaces that we utilized, making sure that everything was clean and put together. Did some laundry, did some packing, just kept myself really busy, making sure, the kids knew that we were gathering our stuff together. And when my pops got home, it was his choice for dinner and he chose Chinese. So my mom had made a list of things to get from Chinese, and he ordered it, and I went to go pick it up. But they were unable to fulfill 2 parts of the order just because I think the place is downsizing and possibly going to close soon. So it was something that we knew, because these 2 items were out, that my mom would probably be upset. And I think everybody was just anticipating that happening. So Chinese was ordered, Chinese was picked up and brought home. My mom got home and she kind of went into a tizzy about the things that were not there in the order, and just had a lot of grumbles and complaints. And I had already decided to make a Grubhub order at a different Chinese place and order the missing items. And it really took a long time, way longer than it should have taken for Grubhub. But anyway, so I think my daughter and I were just observing the behavior and what was going on in this situation. And my son was kind of in and out because he was playing games with his friends. And he was eating and then going up and eating and going up. But this was our last night, so we wanted to play games. And after kind of dinner wrapped up ish, because it was a late wrap up, we all sat around and played some games, and that was fun. My pops had to go to sleep because it was super late for him, and said goodnight to all of us, gave us big hugs, and then we hung out for a little bit longer, and then said goodnight to my mom, gave her big hugs because she was not going to be waking up with us in the morning. The car was all gassed up and mostly packed with all of the suitcases and things that we were bringing home with us. I got all the things in the fridge that needed to be going with us and the snacks. So like everything was ready. Everybody's waters were good. Everything was in line to get out at 5:00 the next day. So we just like wrapped it up kind of early, and everybody went to sleep, and we, had our last day in Florida before heading out. And it was just a lovely day, beautiful, gorgeous, sunny weather again. My son went out and did more of his hoverboard cart at one point, I think while we were waiting for the second food order to come through. So lots of fun, lots of good times. It was just great to be down there, and it felt like home. It felt like, this is how it's meant to be. I got my new car. I, met a new friend. Like there's lots and lots of cool things that happened over the last 2 weeks, and a lot of personal growth too. I am continuously, like I'm saying, I'm trying to be honest and open with what situations are happening, but I'm continuously tested to see my boundaries and limits, and if I'm going to follow through with things that I say. Like, hey, I say I'm going to set boundaries and stick to them, and then something comes through and it's like, are you? Or are you just going to go back to the way you were? So then also too, when some boundaries come through and it's like a boundary test, I think sometimes that it's like, are you willing to stick to your boundaries and keep them solid and firm? Or are you also willing to be a little flexible in your boundaries? Maybe those boundaries shouldn't be as hard as you made them. So it's me trying to figure out and learn and grow. So while I've been down here, I've also let some of my North Carolina guys that I was dating and hanging out and seeing know that, yes, in fact, I am moving to Florida. And that, while I do, this is another thing I felt prompted to do, while I felt, like we were having great times, and I just didn't want to be unfair to them because I will be moving in June. And the whole point of, dating for me is to find my person. And, if they're not okay with that, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure they were aware and we were on the same page. And so, kind of heard back from both of them, the Indian Canadian and the Florida boy in North Carolina, that they wanted to continue to see each other and just kind of like see how it goes. And, that's fine with me. But they're in the full knowledge of me moving in the summer. So anyway, all of that to wrap up and say, I am just trying to be more real with myself. I'm trying to have better boundaries for my safety and for others around me. I am also trying to be more open and also be more aware of other people. So being more aware of others is just something that I thought I was aware of others. I thought I was a great listener. But sometimes it was almost like a fake listen. Like I was pretending to listening, but not listening. And stuff was going through my head while I was supposed to be listening, or actually listening to people's words and what they meant to them. So I'm trying to be more of that person who's actually listening and listening to the words and the way somebody's saying something so I can actually get what they're trying to convey. But yeah, that's me and that's what I'm doing. Like I said, these daily diaries have really helped me by figuring all of that stuff out as I'm recording and talking it out. I'm able to solidify, what I'm feeling and working on in my personal space and life. So anyway, I will wrap it up there and catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening in and sharing your time with me, or supporting me by listening and allowing you to use your time. That came out all kinds of weird, but anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for supporting me. Like, share, comment, subscribe, anything you want to do. Nothing, it's okay. I will wrap it up here and talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, peace.